Rob here for Rob's Gaming Network and Guns and Steel, and today, and I said yesterday would be a historic day. Today, July 9th, 2013, is a historic day for the people of Illinois. It is now public law that you may apply for a permit to conceal carry a loaded handgun in the state of Illinois, and it is shall issue. Now, these fine people that now can protect themselves, and we're now like ordinary Americans, they won't be carrying until March or April 2014. I told the local gun shop, you better start giving out gift cards for training because you guys are going to be booked. And we did the right thing. Everybody who fought for this, Mary Shepard, who made a sacrifice and almost lost her life, Otis McDonald, Todd Vandermeide, the NRA, the Illinois State Rifle Association, anybody who had a hand in this, from the biggest players down to the minuscule informants and reporters and bloggers who took their rights and not just agreed with them, but actively fought to protect them and distribute information and get people to contact their representatives, have had a hand in changing history for the better, for defending our constitutional rights, for defending the principles of our nation, and overriding a tyrant who is being controlled by the city of Chicago in their anti-gun tirade to take away the rights of law-abiding citizens of the state of Illinois. It's a major victory for the people today. No longer in the state of Illinois, starting next March or April in 2014, no longer can it be said that gangbangers can start robbing people because they're not allowed to carry guns and they're going to follow the law anyway. People could be packing heat. And there is no carve out for Chicago. So I'm not staying in this state for obvious reasons, because now this newly restored and protected right can be violated as easily as if we didn't have it. And I'm not going to put up with that. Neither am I going to put up with the heartbreak or allowing them to tell me how I can exercise my right outside of you need a permit. This state is billions of dollars in debt, is highly corrupt. Politicians have connections to gangs. People are quadruple dipping into the pensions. Taxes are about to take a hike. And I don't want to stick around for all the fanfare, because quite frankly, I don't care for it. And I'm a potted plant. When I became a gun enthusiast, I said, you know what? I would like to invoke. I said, okay, so when I started this gig maybe a year and a half ago, I said, okay, what does the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution actually mean, and what does it grant to the people? And I said, oh, well, awesome, it means I can keep and bear arms, but Illinois had a complete and utter ban on the carriage of firearms, which got overturned last December in 2012. And it was my duty as a United States citizen, and I never consider myself a citizen of Illinois. I still consider myself a citizen of another state. My duty was to help to get this overturned. And especially after we won the court case at the 7th Appellate Court, I became an informant. And this is no big deal. I was not orchestrating anything behind the political lines or the lobbying lines. I was merely an informant trying to get one or two gun shops connected on social media and updating them with updates as to what was going on in the General Assembly. And I sat through hours, and I mean hours, of political circus just to extract the information we needed to know so people could contact their legislators and tell them yes or no. So the bill isn't perfect that was released. You will not be able to carry on CTA or public transit. They're going to work on that. However, as much as they said, well, we're going to introduce some good bills to amend the law, equally as much and in their favor, not in our favor, in the anti's favor, they could amend this law to make it more strict. And I think the first thing they're going to go after is a magazine limit. But you might say, well, the bill preempts me. Yeah, they could get rid of that pretty quickly. And that's not right. It's your right. Why should you have a person... Okay, the people that want to change the law for the worse, their ultimate goal, and they know they can't get it, their ultimate goal is for the eradication of private firearms ownership in the United States of America. They know they can't get it, so they're going to do a death by 1,000 cuts to make it as impactful as possible and see what they can do. So they'll start saying, well, I know nothing about guns, but I do know that a lot of gangbangers use guns to kill people, so I'm going to punish you all and say that you can only have 10 rounds. Who says 10 rounds is enough? Who says these people that want to get rid of private firearms ownership are the authority to go to on self-defense? If you want that, you're going to need to go to former U.S. military personnel and the National Rifle Association. And we all know what they have to say regarding the issue. No one complained about taking less rounds to a gunfight, said no one ever. I hope I said that correctly. I hope I didn't use a double negative. But, if you would like to keep this restored right of ours around, and you have a vested interest in not only protecting the Constitution, but protecting yourself and doing it as a law-abiding citizen, you have every duty to keep informing your representatives to vote no on gun control. It's not the tool. It's the stupid gangbanger and mentally insane idiots behind the triggers that need to be stopped from getting these firearms. I mean, look at it. I mean, we all know about the Newtown tragedy. If you don't, go look it up. We put forth common sense proposals doesn't mean what it means anymore, thanks to the President of the United States. But they said, okay, the common sense proposal is to take your guns. And we can't take your guns because they'll incite a riot. So we're going to take away your semi-auto rifles. It didn't work. So among the debate, and the NRA said, okay, let's have this discussion. It came up that we need to put more police in schools. Doesn't that make frickin' sense? More cops in schools mean kids are safer. But the anti-gunners said, no, that's not the answer. No more black guns, no more cops. It's not the answer to protect the kids. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. A good cop with a gun is going to be able to react immediately to an active shooter situation. That's the bottom line of it. You don't like guns? Fine, but stop taking away the rest of our rights. And I've been over this. I'm not going to go over it again. Because the people of Illinois, including myself, should be happy today. But this is just a restoration of our rights that have existed before this entire debacle, before they were taken away in the 60s. They've always been here, and they were taken away from us. So this response has gotten a little longer than I wanted it to be. I congratulate the people of Illinois. You should have had this right to begin with. I am absolutely ashamed of all the politicians who not only agreed to the mandatory veto that Patrick Quinn suggested, which is more gun control and gun bans and de facto no carry, but the people that have been actively working against us to keep the Second Amendment out of the United States Constitution. You people should be kicked out of office. And not just them. Anybody that goes against the Constitution should be kicked out of office. And I personally think the people that want to defend their rights and that mumble and say, oh, well, there's nothing I could do about it, grow a pair and tell your representatives this is not okay. We hold people accountable. If you do not hold the government accountable, they will take everything from you. This isn't a game of democracy and capitalism anymore. The government's become too big. I'm not going to go on a tirade about this because I could write a book. The government's gotten too big. It's now moving towards socialism. Whatever you let them take, they will take it. They will not defend your rights. You need to defend your own rights. Tell your representatives, no, I'm not complying with this. If you've got the cojones, like I have, you tell them I'm not complying. I have told my legislators and people actively over the past couple of months that if X and Y and Z pass, I'm not complying, and I will practice civil disobedience. Never went to jail for it. I'm willing to defend my rights up to that point. But people that say, oh, I agree with you, and then just do nothing, you don't deserve your rights. You need to actively defend them if you want them. Because that's not the way liberty works anymore. Because the government does not have your best interest in mind. They have their pockets and their nanny state idealism in line. So anyways, pop a couple beers. People have been fighting for this for a lifetime, and they're absolutely shocked and tear-filled with joy that this happened. You folks need to defend your right. Make sure that these anti-gunners don't hijack this bill and turn it into May issue. And remember, get the training, be a law-abiding citizen, and protect yourself. Don't let these gangbangers control our lives. Don't let an active shooter in a place like a mall ruin other people's lives. And don't let somebody take your life. Defend your life, your liberty, your pursuit of happiness, and of those around you, your friends, and your company. And remember, we're United States American citizens, and these rights were granted to us immediately when we were born. And if you let the government take them away from us, it's no longer liberty, it's tyranny. Thanks.